Welcome back, everybody. I want to tell you a little story. Once upon a time, and this was a long, long time ago, there was a small herd of buffaloes living out on the prairie. Their names were Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo. Now, buffaloes are herd animals. That means they stay in groups to increase their safety. When any of them sense danger, that one alerts all the other ones, and they decide to fight or flight. Now, for Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo, their nemesis, their greatest enemy, was a wolf named Mick. Mick hunted and ate little rabbits and possums and mice. But these never quite satisfied Mick. No, Mick wanted a buffalo burger. And he tried. And he tried. And he tried. And he tried. But he just couldn't get no buffalo burger. Because the buffalo herd stuck together and they watched each other's backs. But then, one day, the rain just stopped falling. Not a drop. Not a single drop fell from the sky, and the grass withered and dried up, and then it blew away. It was a terrible drought, and the herd had nothing to eat. When they began to get hungry, the buffalo Johanna said, "Hey, I think we might go right over that hill. I think there's some grass over there." Paulina said, "Are you kidding? The good grass is over that way." And Ringo said, "Hey, I'm the biggest buffalo. Over there is where we need to go." And Georgina, well, she really didn't like to disagree with people. She could see everyone's point, and so she just kept quiet. Johanna, Paulina, and Ringo began to argue and say very unkind things to each other. "You never comb your hair. You never trim your hooves. You're always so negative." And Georgina was merely confused and saddened by the whole kerfuffle. And as the three other buffaloes each went to their own direction, Georgina just stood there forlornly. Now, at first, Johanna, Paulina, and Ringo each thought they had gone in exactly the right direction. But as they walked and walked and walked, they didn't find any green grass anywhere. But the wolf named Mick saw his chance. And that's all of the story I'm going to tell. Because the end of the story is up to Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo. They can either realize that they are safer and stronger together, or perhaps the lone wolf Mick will finally get his satisfaction. The end of the story is about either community and togetherness and success for this buffalo herd, or the end of the story is about how lone wolves and individualism wins. Now today we begin our 138th year as a congregation called First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. And I've been here as your senior minister beginning my 6th year. We here this morning represent 138 years of tradition of people coming together, binding themselves into a countercultural community, a community that's unafraid to look at the truth of the human condition. We choose to interpret reality through the communal projects of reason and science and conversation rather than individualistic, subjectively driven emotion. When you asked me here, your first priority was that we strengthen our humanist identity internally and strengthen humanism in the community and the nation. You asked me to increase the impact of FUS in the community on social justice, and you wanted to fix this raggedy old building. We have achieved that major renovation. We have lively programs planned. Just look at that monthly newsletter. We're covering the waterfront from working on sustainability to social justice to the environment to personal development. We have a major initiative coming up this year. You're going to hear about more next Sunday, the project of decentering whiteness in our congregation. What's that? It's about questioning the European assumptions that are woven into the fabric of almost every American institution. And how is that even possible? Well, we focus on humanism here. And humanism is an ethical system by which we consider the best of human thought in order to determine our relationships with all living things and with the world. We believe that the best of human thought is achieved largely through the use of reason and in a community of relationship. We know that Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo are stronger when they stick together, despite the difficulties that community creates. So, what next? The FUS board you just saw has formed a strategic planning task force with the goal of creating a plan this year. They will be doing listening sessions because it's not about me or them, it's about all of us. Listening sessions in small groups, starting out this fall and going into the winter. They will meet at some noons on Sunday. They will meet on some Saturdays, and they'll kick off their listening sessions at our upcoming retreat to the woods. Also, if you're on a committee or a task force, board members would be very happy to come visit your meeting and listen to the specific needs of your committee or task force. We're here to enact your ideals. That's what this is about. The how, however, is not always all that clear. How do we do it? Because ideals are not goals. But ideals can inform goals, create goals, and that's what we're committed to doing this program year with your help. Be like Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo when they team up. Don't be like the lone wolf Mick. In that story, will Johanna, Georgina, Paulina, and Ringo wake up, get together, and save themselves? Or will individualism win? Paradoxically and strangely, it's up to each individual to decide to join into the community. And that's what we're asking you to do this year.